We have some breaking news from the NHL. We have a trade completed between the Avalanche and the Devils. We'll discuss the details coming up next. Welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some breaking news in the NHL tonight. We have a trade between the Avs and the Devils, and you can tell this is another one of those deals that's expansion draft motivated here. The Avalanche have traded defenseman Ryan Graves to New Jersey in exchange for Mikhail Maltsev and a 2021 second-round selection. To me, this is a great addition here for New Jersey. The Avalanche were obviously concerned about losing Graves in the expansion draft. I wondered if they might go with 8 skaters as a protective measure instead of doing the 7-3-1 in Colorado when we've talked about the expansion draft in other videos. I thought they would do that in order to protect Graves, but they also have Makar, Gerard, and Taves, which would be your main 3 to protect. Of course, they have Eric Johnson, who has a no-move clause. He was expected to waive, and I believe he did for expansion draft purposes. And then they still have Bowen Byron coming up. They have Connor Timmins. You know, it is possible that they can afford to lose a defenseman here, and at least they get something in return rather than send him off to Seattle. But they've already made announcements that Pierre Bellemare is not going to be re-signed, and obviously Landeskog is a big, unknown right now. Can they retain their captain? So obviously they're going to go with 7-3-1. That's what this tells me. And Graves goes to New Jersey. He's going to be a nice addition for the Devils. Obviously he's 25 years old. He's a big guy, 6'5", 220 pounds. Obviously from Nova Scotia, Canada, my neck of the woods. So certainly, a great player that I know I'm quite fond of. Had a great junior career playing the Q for Charlottetown, and really can provide a lot of muscle and good defensive zone coverage for New Jersey. Now this creates a different dynamic for the Devils. Obviously they don't have what you'd call like protection issues. They're not going to acquire him and leave him open for exposure, but that's going to create some different players here in New Jersey that are going to be left exposed that you might not have thought about before. For example, this tells me that Graves, along with guys like Damon Severson and Jonas Siegenthaler, who was just signed, those are going to be your 3D that they protect. And you're going to have guys like PK Subban available, as well as Will Butcher and Colton White. So there's some interesting options for the Kraken. I mean, I'm not sure they're going to go for PK. They might take Butcher. It's hard to say, but I would not be completely shocked to see Subban on the move again. Yes, he has a $9 million cap hit, but consider this. Out of the income he's making this year, it's $8 million. $6 million of it is signing bonus, which means that's already been paid. So signing bonus is already looked after. It leaves $2 million for PK Subban for actual salary during the season. So if you look at teams that might not want that hit, but let's say New Jersey's willing to retain 50% of the cap hit because they don't have anywhere near cap problems like a lot of teams, they could retain 50. A team could have PK at a $4.5 million cap hit, only pay him actual $2 million. That might be an attractive option for teams looking for a right side D with experience with a bit of an offensive upside. Now, I know he's not quite the same D he was, a number of years back when he was at the top of his game, but still, he could be an attractive option. So hard to say if Seattle goes there. I wouldn't think so because of the cap hit. But, another team by trade is an option, and then you got Butcher that's going to be exposed too. So, nice deal for New Jersey. It's an upgrade. Get some, a big, strong defensive D back there that can really help them out in that regard, which is a great thing. And like I said, it allows them to potentially move on from another D that they don't see fitting into their long-term future plans. I don't think they paid too much to get Graves. I said he's still young enough. He's under contract as well for 2 more years at $3.1 million, which is a nice cap hit. He could be, probably a second pair defenseman in New Jersey and kind of work his way up in the depth chart. But the Avs are deep on D, and they're rumored also to be in on Seth Jones. So if the Avalanche want to make a play for Jones, even if it's only on a short-term basis and they don't sign him to an extension, then they probably need it to free up some money anyway. So this, like I said, it's a variety of implications here that this could have between expansion and acquiring Jones possibly afterwards. So we'll see how this goes, but I like this for New Jersey, and I wonder what's next for the Avalanche. We'll have to stay tuned to see what happens. So let me know your thoughts on this trade down in the comments, and we'll discuss further. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest news and rumors in all 32 NHL teams. We're bound to have a crazy couple of weeks of news here, so buckle up and stay tuned. We'll keep you up to date here at Top Shelf Hockey. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.